You've ridden your Harley for years, but some of its most powerful features remain hidden in plain sight. In this video, I'll reveal 21 secrets Harley Davidson never told you, tips that can boost performance, safety, and control. Watch closely till secret number 1, because it's the ultimate game changer for every rider. Number 21. Harley Davidson Rain Sock restricts performance. That black nylon cover sitting over the air cleaner might look like it belongs there full time, but it is not meant for everyday riding. Its real purpose is simple: keep water from getting into the intake when you are caught in the rain. When skies are clear, leaving the rain sock in place cuts down on airflow, which can make your engine feel sluggish and less responsive. The air cleaner is engineered to breathe freely, pulling in as much clean air as possible to mix with fuel for smooth, strong combustion. When you block that flow, even with something as light as a nylon mesh, you limit the motor's ability to perform at its best. The rain sock is best kept in a saddlebag, ready to slip on only when weather demands it. Once the road dries out, take it off again and let your Harley breathe. One rider admitted he left the rain sock on for weeks without realizing why his Harley felt sluggish. The day he pulled it off before a rally, he said it felt like riding a completely different machine. Number 20. Harley Davidson 91. Octane is non-negotiable. Fuel choice is one of the simplest yet most critical decisions a rider can make, and for these motorcycles, premium gasoline is not optional. The engines are designed and tuned to run on no less than 91 octane, allowing for proper combustion timing and protecting against detonation that can cause long-term damage. Using lower-grade fuel may seem harmless in the short term, but it can lead to reduced performance, increased engine heat, and a noticeable loss of throttle response. Older carbureted models may tolerate slight variations, but modern fuel-injected systems are more sensitive and rely on precise fuel quality to operate at their best. Consistently filling up with the correct octane ensures that the motor delivers smooth acceleration, strong pulling power, and dependable performance across thousands of miles. When you treat fuel grade as a non-negotiable part of your riding routine, you preserve both the feel and the longevity of your motorcycle, ensuring every ride is as strong and responsive as the day you brought it home. Number 19. Harley Davidson silent security systems still work. Many riders assume that if their motorcycle's alarm system does not sound, it is not offering real protection. In reality, the silent versions are just as functional as those equipped with an audible siren. These systems use motion and tamper sensors to trigger a visible deterrent, flashing turn signals that warn off would-be thieves and signal that the bike has been disturbed. Even without the wail of a siren, the visual alert is enough to draw attention in parking lots or garages. The silent system operates seamlessly in the background, activating automatically when the bike is shut down and the key fob is out of range. If movement or tampering is detected, the flashing lights continue for a set period, making it clear that the motorcycle is armed and monitored. This option suits riders who store their bikes in residential areas where noise complaints might be a concern. It is a reminder that security comes in more than one form, and silence can be just as effective as sound. A rider once shared how his silent system stopped a thief in its tracks outside a diner. Those flashing lights drew enough attention to scare them off before they even touched the bike. If these Harley secrets are helping you see your bike in a new light, give this video a like. It tells me to keep bringing you more of what matters. Drop a comment below and share which tips you've already tried or which ones surprised you the most. Your feedback not only builds this community but could also help another rider avoid costly mistakes. Stick around because the next set of tips could completely change how you handle your Harley every single day. Number 18. Harley Davidson motorcycles will start with the kickstand down. It surprises many riders to learn that these motorcycles can start with the kickstand still down. As long as the transmission is in neutral, turning the ignition and pressing the starter will bring the engine to life without the need to lift the stand. This feature is convenient for warming up the motor before a ride or performing quick maintenance without balancing the bike upright. However, it also comes with a responsibility to double-check your gear position before engaging the clutch. If the transmission is in gear and the clutch is released with the kickstand down, the safety interlock will immediately kill the engine to prevent sudden movement. This safeguard is designed to protect both rider and machine from an unintended lurch forward. The ability to start the bike in neutral with the stand deployed is a small but practical detail, allowing for easier preparation in the driveway or garage while maintaining built-in safety measures for when it is time to roll. Plenty of riders warm their bikes this way in the garage before a weekend ride, kickstand down, coffee in hand, getting the engine rumbling without the balancing act. You just unlocked 21 hidden Harley secrets. Now it's time to gear up like a pro. The right accessories can boost your ride just as much as these tips. Check out the link below for hand-picked Harley gear and essentials every rider should have. Number 17. Harley Davidson motorcycles can start in first gear. These motorcycles have the ability to start while in first gear, a feature that can be useful in certain situations but requires caution. If the clutch lever is fully pulled in, the starter will engage and the engine will fire, allowing a quick departure without shifting into neutral first. This can be handy when stopped on an incline or in heavy traffic where finding neutral is inconvenient. However, starting in gear demands precise control of the clutch to avoid unintended movement. If the clutch is not engaged when the starter is pressed in first gear, the bike will surge forward abruptly and most likely stall. This safety risk is why experienced riders keep a firm hand on the clutch and a steady foot on the rear brake during such starts. While it is not the primary method for firing up the engine, the ability to start in gear is a built-in flexibility that, when used carefully, can make riding in challenging conditions smoother and more controlled. Number 16. Harley Davidson handlebar. Lock is built into the ignition. Many riders overlook the fact that the handlebar lock is already integrated into the ignition switch, eliminating the need for a separate locking device. To engage it, the handlebars are turned fully to the left, and the ignition switch is rotated past the off position to the lock setting. Using the key, a quick push and turn secures the bars in place, making it far more difficult for anyone to roll the bike away without proper access. This lock functions as a simple but effective theft deterrent, especially when parking in public areas or leaving the motorcycle unattended for extended periods. Unlocking is just as straightforward. Insert the key, rotate the switch back to center, and the bars move freely again. Because it is built into the ignition assembly, there is no additional hardware to carry or maintain. Incorporating this step into your regular parking routine adds an extra layer of security with minimal effort, helping protect your motorcycle wherever you choose to stop. Old school riders still talk about the days they had to carry bulky chains. Discovering the ignition integrated lock felt like Harley was finally listening to their struggles. Number 15. Harley Davidson accessory mode will not let you start. These motorcycles include an accessory mode that powers specific systems without activating the engine. When the ignition switch is turned to this setting, the radio, lights, and other electronics can be used while the motor remains off. This is ideal for listening to music at a rest stop, adjusting settings, or using navigation without running the engine unnecessarily. However, many new riders are caught off guard when they try to start the bike in this mode and nothing happens. The starter circuit is intentionally disabled in accessory mode to prevent accidental engine engagement while the motorcycle is stationary for non-riding purposes. To start the bike, the ignition must be turned fully to the on position, followed by switching the run-stop control to run before pressing the starter button. Accessory mode is a thoughtful feature for conserving fuel and reducing noise while still enjoying the bike's electronics, but it is important to remember that it is strictly for stationary use and not for getting the engine running. Number 14. Harley Davidson proper shutdown sequence. Shutting down these motorcycles may seem as simple as turning off the ignition, but there is a method that protects electrical components and ensures safe operation. The recommended sequence is to first use the engine run-stop switch, often referred to as the kill switch, to stop the motor. This halts the ignition system and fuel delivery instantly while leaving other electronics momentarily powered. Once the engine is stopped, the ignition switch should then be turned to the off position. This approach reduces wear on the ignition switch and minimizes the risk of electrical arcing, which can occur when switching off the bike under full load. It also ensures the motorcycle is completely powered down and ready to be secured. Riders who consistently use the proper shutdown sequence find it becomes second nature, blending seamlessly into their end-of-ride routine. It is a small detail, but one that reflects care for the machine's longevity and attention to safe riding practices every time the engine is turned off. One rider at Sturgis said he learned the hard way. After years of just turning the key, his ignition switch fried. Since then, he swears by the kill switch method. Number 13. Harley Davidson motorcycles have a hidden pin start. Few riders realize that these motorcycles can be started without the key fob by using a pre-programmed personal identification number. This feature is designed as a backup in case the fob is lost, damaged, or its battery fails while away from home. By turning the ignition on and using the left and right turn signal buttons in a specific sequence, the rider can enter the stored 5-digit code. Once accepted, the security system disengages and the engine can be started normally. This capability ensures that being without the fob does not leave the bike stranded. It is particularly valuable on long trips where replacement parts or assistance may not be readily available. To make use of it, the code must be set in advance and remembered or stored securely. Riders who know and practice their PIN start procedure have an extra layer of confidence, knowing they can get back on the road even in unexpected situations where the main security device is unavailable. A stranded rider at a gas station once drew a crowd when his fob battery died. Everyone thought he was stuck until he entered his PIN and fired it up, earning cheers from everyone watching. Number 12. Harley Davidson PIN can be changed anytime. These motorcycles allow riders to update their personal identification number whenever needed, giving full control over this vital security backup. The process involves turning the ignition on, cycling the engine run stop switch a specific number of times, and then using the turn signal buttons to adjust each digit. Once the desired 5-digit code is entered, the system stores it instantly, replacing the old code with the new one. This flexibility is particularly useful if the current code has been shared, forgotten, or is simply too easy to guess. Updating the number periodically ensures the backup start feature remains secure against unauthorized use. Because the procedure only takes a minute and requires no special tools, it can be performed in a garage, at a rest stop, or anywhere the bike is safely parked. Riders who take advantage of this feature not only maintain control over their motorcycle's security, but also ensure peace of mind on every ride. Number 11. Harley Davidson Transport Mode saves your battery. When these motorcycles are moved without the key fob present, such as during trailering or loading into a truck, the security system can interpret the motion as tampering. This triggers repeated flashing of the turn signals, which will slowly drain the battery over long distances. Transport mode prevents that from happening by temporarily disabling the motion sensors while keeping the security system armed. To activate transport mode, the key fob must be within range. The ignition is turned on, then off, and both turn signal buttons are pressed together until the indicator confirms activation. Once set, the bike can be moved freely without triggering visual alerts or using battery power unnecessarily. Deactivation is just as simple. Bring the fob close, cycle the ignition, and normal security functions return. For riders who frequently trailer their motorcycles to rallies, storage locations, or distant destinations, transport mode is a small but powerful feature that preserves battery life while maintaining peace of mind. Number 10. Harley Davidson Cruise Control has a resume button. Long rides become easier with cruise control, allowing the rider to maintain a steady speed without constant throttle input. These systems include a resume function that many owners overlook. After braking, pulling the clutch, or rolling the throttle forward, any of which disengage cruise control, the rider can simply tap the control upward to resume the previously set speed. This eliminates the need to reset speed manually and helps maintain a consistent pace on extended highway stretches. The resume feature is especially useful when passing through slow traffic or roadwork zones, as it quickly restores the exact speed chosen before the interruption. It operates smoothly, avoiding sudden acceleration, and blends seamlessly into the riding rhythm. By mastering this function, riders can keep fatigue to a minimum and focus more on the road ahead. It is a practical detail that underscores the comfort and convenience built into these motorcycles for those who value long-distance cruising and efficiency on every journey. One touring rider said this feature saved his wrist on a 600-mile haul across Texas. Every slowdown and resume felt effortless, keeping him steady through the ride. Number 9. Harley Davidson cruise control can be canceled by rolling the throttle forward. While most riders know that braking or pulling the clutch will disengage cruise control, fewer realize that it can also be canceled simply by rolling the throttle forward past its neutral position. This small movement immediately deactivates the system without the need to touch the brakes or other controls. It is particularly useful when wanting to disengage cruise control without changing speed dramatically, such as when approaching a curve or navigating through light traffic. This method provides a smoother transition back to manual throttle control, giving the rider more precise input over acceleration and deceleration. It is also faster than reaching for switches, making it a convenient option when quick adjustments are needed. Learning to use the throttle to cancel cruise control adds another layer of control and comfort, especially during long rides where conditions can change quickly. It is a subtle feature, but one that can make highway travel more intuitive and enjoyable for seasoned riders. Number 8. Harley Davidson Heat Management System shuts down a cylinder. Extended idling in traffic or hot weather can cause engine temperatures to climb, making the ride less comfortable for both rider and machine. To address this, many modern models feature a heat management system that temporarily shuts down fuel delivery to the rear cylinder when the bike is stationary. This reduces the amount of heat rising toward the seat and legs, keeping the rider cooler and helping the engine maintain safe operating temperatures. The system activates automatically under specific conditions, usually when the engine is fully warmed and the motorcycle is idling in neutral or with the clutch pulled. Once the throttle is opened and the bike begins moving, the rear cylinder resumes normal operation instantly, with no noticeable lag in power. This feature is particularly appreciated during long summer rides through congested areas, where stop-and-go traffic is unavoidable. It is a thoughtful engineering solution that balances performance with comfort, ensuring both rider and engine endure less heat stress in challenging conditions. Riders stuck in stop-and-go traffic at Daytona Bike Week often call this system a lifesaver, keeping the heat down when the Florida sun and blacktop are at their worst. Number 7. Harley Davidson Heat Management System can be turned off. While the heat management system offers clear comfort benefits in slow traffic or hot weather, some riders prefer to keep both cylinders firing at all times. Fortunately, this feature can be manually deactivated in just a few seconds. With the engine fully warmed and the motorcycle at idle, rolling the throttle slightly forward past its resting point will switch the system off until the next ignition cycle. A brief indicator change confirms the adjustment. Riders may choose to disable the system for a consistent exhaust note, smoother idle feel, or when riding in cooler temperatures where excess heat is not a concern. Once turned off, both cylinders will continue to operate normally regardless of idling conditions. This option allows for more direct control over the engine's behavior, letting each rider tailor the experience to their preferences. Having the ability to override automated features is another example of how these motorcycles blend modern engineering with traditional rider control. Number 6. Harley Davidson Factory Battery Tender Port is already installed. Many riders purchase separate battery tender connections without realizing their motorcycle likely already has one from the factory. This small but valuable feature allows a trickle charger to be plugged directly into the bike without removing panels or accessing the battery terminals. On most models, the port is located on the left side, either near the frame under the seat or tucked behind a side cover. Using a battery tender during long periods of storage keeps the battery fully charged and ready for immediate use, preventing the slow discharge that can occur when the bike sits idle for weeks or months. The built-in port makes the process effortless. Just connect the charger and let it maintain the proper voltage. This convenience encourages regular battery care, extending lifespan and reducing the risk of unexpected failures. It is a thoughtful inclusion that supports the reliability these motorcycles are known for, ensuring they start strong whenever the next ride calls. One winter rider shared that he used to pull off side panels every season just to hook up a charger. With the built-in port, spring starts became as easy as plugging in. Number 5. Harley Davidson. Tipover mode locks out the starter. If a motorcycle is dropped while running, an internal safety system called Tipover mode automatically shuts off the engine and prevents it from restarting until it is manually reset. This feature helps protect the engine from damage due to oil displacement and prevents the bike from accidentally moving while in an unstable position. The system activates instantly when the lean angle exceeds a specific threshold, cutting ignition and fuel delivery. To reset Tipover mode, the motorcycle must be upright and stable. The ignition is then turned off and back on, and both turn signal buttons are pressed simultaneously to clear the lockout. Once reset, the starter will function normally and the bike can be ridden again. This safety measure is particularly useful for preventing further mishaps immediately after a fall, giving the rider time to assess the motorcycle's condition. It is a quiet but effective safeguard that blends rider safety with mechanical protection, ready to intervene when an unexpected drop occurs. Number 4. Harley Davidson hazard lights will not turn off with the key. Many riders are surprised to learn that switching off the ignition does not automatically cancel the hazard lights. Once activated, they continue to flash even with the motorcycle completely powered down. This design ensures that the lights can function as a warning signal in an emergency, regardless of whether the engine is running. It is especially useful when the bike is stopped on the roadside at night or in low visibility conditions, where visibility to other drivers is critical. To turn off the hazard lights, the ignition must be switched back to the on position and the hazard control button must be pressed again. Only then will the lights stop flashing. While this might seem like an extra step, it is intentional, allowing the hazards to remain active without draining excessive power from running electronics. Understanding this function prevents confusion and ensures the lights are used effectively, giving riders another tool for staying visible and safe in unexpected roadside situations. Number 3. Harley Davidson cruise control will not set over 90 miles per hour. Cruise control is designed for comfort and efficiency, but it is also programmed with safety limits. One of these is a maximum set speed of 90 miles per hour. If the motorcycle is traveling faster than that, the system will not engage regardless of throttle position or control inputs. This limit is in place to help reduce the risk of high-speed instability and to keep the feature focused on its intended purpose: steady, controlled cruising over long distances. Riders can still reach higher speeds manually by rolling on the throttle after cruise control is engaged, but the set speed will never soar above the 90 mph threshold. Once the throttle is released, the bike will return to the last programmed cruising speed below that limit. Understanding this feature ensures that riders use cruise control within its safe operating range while still having the freedom to accelerate temporarily when needed. It is a balance between modern convenience and responsible riding standards. Number 2. Harley Davidson riders can pass without canceling cruise control. Cruise control on these motorcycles is designed with flexibility, allowing the rider to accelerate temporarily without disengaging the system. By simply rolling on the throttle, the bike will pick up speed for passing slower traffic or merging into a faster lane. Once the throttle is eased back to its original position, the motorcycle smoothly returns to the previously set cruising speed without any additional input from the rider. This function makes highway riding more efficient and less distracting, eliminating the need to reset cruise control after every quick maneuver. It is especially useful on long trips, where maintaining a steady pace helps reduce fatigue while still allowing for safe, controlled bursts of acceleration when needed. Riders who understand and use this feature can navigate traffic more confidently, keeping their pace consistent while adapting to changing conditions. It is a small but thoughtful detail that reflects the balance of convenience and control built into these machines. If you've stayed with me this far, you're clearly serious about getting the most out of your Harley. Now is the perfect time to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a single ride-changing secret. This channel is dedicated to helping riders like you improve performance, safety, and comfort. The next videos will give you even more control over your bike and your riding experience. Let's wrap up with a final tip that could be the most important one of all. Number 1. Harley Davidson left turn signal is your key to almost everything. On many modern models, the left turn signal serves far more purposes than simply indicating a lane change. It is an essential control input for several hidden or advanced functions, including entering the personal identification number for the security system, changing that code when needed, and navigating certain on-screen menus. Paired with the right turn signal button, it becomes a key part of operating features that are not immediately obvious to new owners. For example, the left turn signal is used in combination with ignition cycling to initiate the backup start procedure when the key fob is unavailable. It can also be part of enabling or disabling certain settings, such as transport mode or Tipover reset. This multifunction use streamlines the control layout, reducing the number of separate switches while maintaining full functionality. Riders who learn the additional capabilities of the left turn signal gain greater command over their motorcycle systems, unlocking practical tools that improve convenience, security, and confidence on the road. A rider once joked that the left blinker is like Harley's secret handshake. Once you learn its hidden tricks, you feel like you're part of an inside club. You've just unlocked some of the most overlooked and valuable Harley secrets out there. Now it's your turn. Keep the conversation going. Hit that like button if you learned something new and share your thoughts or personal tips in the comments below. Every rider's experience matters, and your insight could help someone else in this community. If you want to keep getting practical, ride-changing advice, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications right now. This way, you'll be the first to know when the next set of powerful tips drops. Remember, every mile on your Harley is an opportunity to ride smarter, safer, and stronger. So stay connected, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.